We live in a video game.
Pterodactyl, probably.
We're not literally seeing the mailbox over there.
Dimension or parallel universe?
I think I'd be a good president of the moon.
Like, no way!
What is going on here?
Whoa. We're being recorded.
We are.
So, what's your full name?
My full name is Emily Dunn.
Do you give us permission to record you, audio and visually?
I do.
Cool. So, what's your favorite color?
I like black, gray, and green.
Like mixed together, or
No,
like
except
separately?
like they're my three favorites.
Okay.
I can't decide which ones I like more.
Do you believe in free will?
I think that everyone has like free will. I think that everyone can think whatever they want, but I don't think that people should be able to do whatever they want.
Like, do you believe in destiny? Like everything's already
No.
pre-written for us, or we have some choice within our
I think that
life?
destiny doesn't exist at all. I think that everything that happens are consequences,
Right.
Based on our decisions
Cause and
that we
effect.
make. Yeah, exactly. And like obviously there are some things that are out of our control. There are a lot of things that are out of our control, like where we were born and like natural disasters or like anything. But generally, no. Like I'm not destined, to grow up where I grew up. And
if you could be any animal, what animal would you be?
oh man, oh that's a good question. Maybe like a sea otter, because like they're in the water all the time.
What about an emu?
No, not an emu. Probably a sea otter, because like they're really happy and they just kind of swim around in the water and they have friends, and like when they're in the water and they're floating, then they like hold on to each other and stuff. So I think that's sweet. They're very resourceful and smart as well.
What
So
a
yeah.
fucking view, eh? Like,
Yeah,
sorry,
it's
I
great.
just got
No,
mesmerized in that for
I
a
know,
second.
it's beautiful.
I wonder if there's sea otters down there.
That would be great. Somewhere in
So
the ocean. I mean, that's the ocean. So.
yeah, I mean, you probably heard this a million times, but do we live in a simulation?
I don't know. I'm not educated enough on the topic, and I haven't heard enough theories to really have a conclusive answer. So, I'm gonna go with a maybe.
A maybe.
Just because I don't.
That's fair.
I don't know. I'm open to the idea.
Cool. So this is a bit of a different question.
Okay.
I'm just trying to remember what it is. Okay. If you can meet yourself from a parallel universe,
Okay.
what questions would you have? What would you be curious about to see if there's any differences, maybe?
Like that. Well, I think that just like it depends. Like if you go to this parallel universe and like everything is like underwater, then I don't know. I think I'd ask like world history, if that makes sense. Like I'd be like, how is the world like this? Just to kind of see like what things in history would have changed. Like, what if Abraham Lincoln wasn't shot when he was? Like
Right.
maybe that was a parallel.
Like
You know what I mean?
JFK
Or like what
didn't get
if
killed.
like Hitler like died as a baby? Like
Right.
I know those are like kind of extreme.
Well, it's
things,
like
but
one person dies, the next thing you know, none of us exist.
yeah, exactly. Like I probably,
Weird.
so I'd probably do that. Like, I mean, I'd probably like be in Germany. Well, I wouldn't even exist if that were the case. Because,
Yeah. So-
my dad's from Canada, my mom's from Germany. So
Yeah,
if
it's
Hitler
interesting.
never was
So,
a
like,
thing, I wouldn't exist.
True.
So, but you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I'd try to figure out like what was different.
Maybe you're like president of the moon.
That would be sick. I think I'd be a good president of the moon.
I think so. If you could figure out, again, in advance, how and when and all the details of your death, would you want to know?
Absolutely.
Why?
100%. Because I think that like everyone is so scared, to like really live their life. Like if I'm gonna die when I'm, 85 years old, then, I'll get a good job and like get a pension, so I'll be safe. But if I'm gonna die in 10 years, then I'm just gonna say fuck it and travel and like live how I want. So I think that, there's a safe choice and a
Right.
not safe choice, and I'd like to know. I'd be able to have more control about what kind of life I would live.
Right.
Which would also be bad because I would have so many options, but I think I'd like that. I like to know things
You like to know.
in advance. I like
to
to
be able
plan.
to see the horizon.
I like
what's
to plan.
beyond it.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly.
If the world was your audience, all right, just theoretically here, and you could ask the world any question, right in there. That's
Okay.
the world.
Ask the world.
What the
Okay.
fuck would you ask them, guys? I should probably bleep that out.
That's fine.
Kids could be watching.
Whatever.
Yeah.
They'll learn swear words eventually.
That's true.
I'd probably ask, why are you mean to other people that aren't like you? That doesn't make sense.
That's a good
Yeah.
one. Hey, that's a good one. It's good.
That's legit.
Okay.
Any final words?
I've never been interviewed before, so thank you. This has been an experience, and it's
Thank you.
No,
Sweet.
cool. Boy, sorry, I shouldn't have done that.
Yeah.
So do you want to just say your name
Avery Ursino.
and you give permission for us to film and record?
I do, yes.
Cool. So, what do you think about free will? Do we have it? Do we not? Is destiny the thing, or do we have some choice in life?
I think there's absolutely choice. I think your choice definitely depends on the experiences that you've had. Literally every experience that you had can shape the decisions that you make for the rest of your life. Every experience that you have can really change how you're going to experience everything else too. So, yeah, everything can be changed like exponentially off of everything that has already happened. That's where my opinion on that stands, I guess.
So Elon Musk, Stephen Hawking, some other, big figures in the science and technology world have talked about how there's a probability that we live in a simulation. What do you think about that?
Ooh. I think that's definitely like an interesting point of view. Not something I'm very familiar with. I'd be interested in hearing more about it, but I don't know. I think that it might be one of those things that if you believe in it, it might be you're going to have a lot more chance of experiencing that if you believe in it.
Right.
Philosophical terms is like in As a Man Thinketh, like what you think you believe, what you think you become, kind of thing.
Yeah.
So if that is something that you believe, perhaps that is something that you can become.
Right. So my question is, if you could find another you from another dimension, what question would you ask to that person? I guess yourself. It's a weird
Dimension
question.
or parallel universe?
Parallel universe. Let's say.
Parallel universe.
Yeah.
Okay. If I could talk to me from a parallel universe, what does this parallel universe looks like? Because according to that, there is literally infinite parallel universes. So there's infinite me's.
Right.
So,
let's say this Avery is like an asshole, or like a.
Okay, well, if this
is
Avery
complete opposite of who you are.
A complete opposite of who I am.
Yeah.
Okay.
What would you ask? What would you ask? Like, what would be different? Do you think, in that kind of way? It's a hard question.
I think I would ask what was different in our childhoods, how they differed, because
awesome.
Listening to a lot of different doctors and stuff, that they'll definitely talk about like how people act in their day-to-day lives is a lot of like a reaction to what happened to them in their early childhood. So I definitely try to find out what happened in the early childhood of that different Avery to see why that's how he's reacting today.
Exactly. Yeah. Cool.
So see where the actions are coming from.
Yeah. But okay, so the next question is, if you could find out when and where and how you die, would you take that chance or would you not?
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Is there any specific reason as to why you would want to know, or is it just like?
Yes, it's just making the best of it before you can. Like, I mean, if I know that at 84 years old I'm dying in a car crash, I'm not worried about getting cancer at 23.
That's a good answer.
I mean, this is literally it. It's like I don't have to worry about driving the speed limit. I mean, to a certain extent.
Yeah, of course, right.
Within reason, but yeah.
If you could ask any question of like a group of people, and what would you ask them? Like a deep curiosity of yours, or something like that.
If I could ask like a big group of people.
Let's say the world is your audience.
Yeah.
And you can ask them one question. What do you ask the world?
How much time have you spent on self-reflection?
That's
definitely that. Yeah.
That's like one of the most intuitive I've probably heard. Cool. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, thank you very much.
Thank
awesome.
you. That was fun.
Yeah. Can you tell us your full name?
Leonard John Schoonhoven.
And are you giving us your permission to film you?
Yeah.
And record you as well?
Absolutely.
Awesome. Okay, so starting off, what's your favorite color?
Blue.
Blue? Oh, same. Do you believe in free will? Or what's your perspective on free will or something?
I don't know, like free will, like define free will. Like, what are we talking?
What's your definition of free will?
Okay. Well, if he doesn't want to tie me up during sex, that's usually pretty handy.
Okay.
But I mean, like, free will is like making your own choices. It's
Right.
experiencing what you want. And it's like having that decision-making process of being like, hey, this is something that I want to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. What's your favorite clothing to wear?
Ooh, sweatpants.
Sweatpants?
100%. Yeah. Yeah, obviously.
Just a comfortable person?
Easy access, man.
Awesome. Do you think we're in a simulation? Like, do you believe that we're in a simulation?
100%. We live in a video game.
Yeah?
This is just a video
Life
game.
is just a video game.
I feel like
Okay.
Abed. This is a
Alright.
video game. I swear. Yeah.
If you could be any type of character in any movie, what would you be?
I'd be Gumby because I could stretch the motherfuck out. Like, I would be so cool. Like, you could just see me like Mrs. like fucking like Elastigirl, just like stretching the fuck out. Like, it'd be super chill, man.
Awesome. Another question is, if you could meet an alternate you from a different universe, what would be the first question that you would ask?
Do you like shower sex too?
And, like, what do you think you would want to do if you could go to that place, that different universe? What would you
Like occupationally, like what are we talking? Like hobbies?
like
what are we
what
talking?
would you want to explore? What would you think would be different?
Okay, it's an alternate universe. So I mean, like, first of all, I have no idea if this is like even like Earth. Like,
Right.
what if the grass is purple? What
Right.
if the sky is like orange?
Right.
Like, I gotta check
Right.
this shit out.
Yeah.
So like, I don't know. You gotta like explore things. You gotta figure things out. Definitely want to explore. That's what I do.
All right.
Yeah.
And if you could find out when, where, and how you would die, would you take that chance, or would you just?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Because then I could make every other day count. If I knew I only had 20 days left, those 20 days would be the sickest motherfucking days of my motherfucking life. It'd be great. I
Yeah.
would have a time and a half. I just go for it.
Yeah.
I'd love to know when I die. It'd be awesome.
If you could live anywhere, like with no like carefree money and all that stuff, where would you?
Under the sea.
Under the sea.
Under
You just build
the
a
fucking sea. And a
you-
pineapple.
You'd rapture.
A pineapple.
Like Bioshock. You just build an underwater city. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, thank you so much.
One more
Oh, one
question.
more question.
If you could say anything and the whole world was your audience, what would you say or what would you ask the world?
Check out my back pages.
Is that genuinely what you would ask?
Is that the wrong
No,
answer?
that's
No,
fine.
no, not at all. Not at all.
Oh,
No,
okay.
No, yeah.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, man.
Honestly.
Cheers.
Sweet.
Can I just press this button right here? It's right.
So listen,
Yes.
say your full name.
What?
Say your full name. Yeah.
I'm not really comfortable doing that.
Okay, well, do you want to say
First and last, okay?
Yeah.
Alex Young.
Yeah, Alex Young. Do you give us permission to film you?
Yes.
Okay.
Awesome.
So, listen.
Yeah?
How do you feel about free will? Do we have it? Do we have free will?
I don't know, man. Like, I know a lot of guys have free will, and
Well, we
like,
don't.
a lot of yes, we do. We have free will. We're free to make our own decisions, but like,
We're all fishermen up there.
I don't feel like all people are able to make their own decisions without repercussions. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, like, there's limits on it.
With some people, yes.
Fantastic.
I feel as like white straight males, we have everything we need.
Right.
Because
But other people have disadvantages.
Right, so
like,
our
like,
privilege gives us more opportunities, what you're saying.
That's
yeah.
an
Yeah.
interesting
Okay.
perspective on it. Yeah.
Thank
I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
But, okay, so from like a more like a biological perspective.
Right.
Do you
biological.
Think, yeah.
Yeah.
Between men and women?
No. Like,
Just in
do you
general.
think we make our decisions, or our decisions are already written in some?
Oh fuck! I think we
Yeah,
make all our own
so-
decisions, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not some sky fairy making our decisions.
Right.
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 Next question is: do you think we live in a simulation?
Jesus, I hope not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
That'd be weird, man. Like, you believe that?
What happened?
What kind of simulation would that be if I just didn't fucking do anything my whole life?
Right.
Well, just look at the rest of your life.
Yeah, that'd be stupid, wouldn't it?
Pretty
All right,
crazy.
next question. Anything else?
So the next question is, if you could meet someone from an alternate, like an alternate reality, kind of like a
Yes.
different perspective of you. So like, so meeting you, let's say, from a different universe
Yes.
that has complete opposite personality traits. What would you ask first? What questions would be brought up to ask yourself that is the completely different self in a different universe?
Are you happy?
Are you happy? Okay.
Are you happy having made the complete opposite decisions that I have?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm content. I don't know if I'm happy though.
Right.
Is that everything?
And then the next question is, if you could know exactly when, where, and how you die, would you take that chance to know, or would you just say no? I don't want to know. You don't want to know?
Oh fuck no!
That's awesome.
I wouldn't want to know that.
Really? No. Why wouldn't you want to know?
I wouldn't want to spend the rest of my fucking life living like, oh man, I'm gonna die on this date.
That's interesting.
Like, no way!
Yeah, of course.
Like counting down.
All right. If the whole world is your audience, what do you want to ask the world?
Am I hot?
All right. So what's your full name? And do you give us your full permission to video record you and audio record you? Awesome. So what's your favorite color?
Purple.
Purple. Awesome. What's your favorite shoes to wear? What kind of shoes?
I guess these Converses.
Oh, nice. Awesome.
Same as you.
Do you believe in free will? Or what's your definition of free will?
I'd like to believe that it exists, but I don't really think that in our society it technically is a thing that everyone has access to.
Right.
Because there's definitely a lot of the population that doesn't have free will in like what they do and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do believe that there could be a world someday where free will could be a possibility.
Exactly. Cool. That's an interesting way of putting it. Do you have any belief that we're in a simulation at all in any kind of way, or?
Sometimes I like to entertain the idea. It'd be kind of fun to like just wake up one day and realize that you're kind of not in the world that you are, and the people you know are like actually different or don't exist at all.
Right. So it's kind of like the Truman Show type thing with Jim Carrey. Yeah. If you could meet a different you from a parallel universe, what kind of questions would you have, or what would you, I guess, want to do with that in that kind of way?
I think I'd be curious to see how the different me is different than I am, because I would want to know like who they hang out with differently than I would, and like what their views on the world are that are different than mine would be.
Right.
Just to see how difference of being raised differently can make such a difference.
Yeah.
And difference of like environment and stuff.
That's interesting. Yeah, that's pretty much the same for me. If you could find out when, where, and how you die, would you take that chance, or would you just keep it? And why? Why exactly?
Because I believe that a lot of people would choose that, and then they would make the best of their life while knowing that they're going to die at some point.
Right.
But I don't want to know when I'm going to die, because I want to be able to make the best of my life every day without really like having a deadline for it.
Yeah, that's.
And I feel like as you got closer and closer to the day where you die, you just get way more and more stressed.
Exactly. Yeah. No,
until the point where like you would literally be crippled of stress for like the last hour of your life, because you know you were gonna die in an hour.
Exactly. No, that's an interesting perspective, and I think that's a really good motto to live by. Is gonna be positive no matter what. If you had anything to talk to the audience, I guess, or anything to say, any question you would like to ask, what would it be? I guess.
Honestly, I would like to know why we raise boys differently than we raise girls, and vice versa, because I think all kids should be raised the same way, no matter like what gender they are, or what gender they feel they are, or what gender they turn out to be. So I think everyone should be raised to be a decent person.
I agree.
And I'd like to know why that's so hard to do in our society.
Yeah, exactly. Is there anything else you would like to say? Any final words or anything like that?
No, just thank you, and good luck with your podcast.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Hi.
Hi.
Can we get your full name?
My name is Viola Debbie Cameron.
Do you give us permission to use the audio and video from this filming?
Yes, I do.
Cool. What's your favorite color?
Probably blue.
What's your favorite type of tree?
Tree? I don't know. Leafy ones?
Leafy ones are pretty awesome. Do you believe in free will?
Kind of. I believe that like there's like destiny and karma, and there's some things that like you're more pushed towards doing, but I still believe you can choose whatever you want to do in your life.
Do you believe we're living in a simulation?
I do not.
Okay. Do you want to expand on that? You don't have to.
I just think that we think too much and have too many thoughts of our own that it doesn't seem like there's somebody else controlling us.
Right. If you could meet you from a parallel universe, what questions would you have?
I think I just want to get to know them, like how are they different? What do you see in the world? What is your life like? Just to know like what else my life could be.
Right. The other possibilities.
Yeah.
If you could know when and where and how you're going to die, would you want to know?
I think so, because I think if it was sometime soon, maybe I could find a way to avoid it.
Right.
And if there was no way to avoid it, then just get the best out of life, do the best you can.
If you could ask a question to everyone in the world all at once, what would you ask them?
Why do you think you're better than other people? Like, we're all the same, we're all humans, and why do you think you deserve more than some other people do?
Any final words?
No, but thanks.
Thank you.
Do you want to say your full name? Or just first and last?
Yeah.
Good.
Okay, Annie Ferris.
Do you give us permission to film and audio record you?
Yes.
All right. What's your favorite cheese?
My favorite cheese, I'm just Parmesan.
What's your favorite dinosaur?
Oh man. A pterodactyl, probably.
Do you think we live in a simulation?
What? No.
No?
Like, define a simulation. Like, what do you mean?
Okay, so Elon Musk, Stephen Hawking, and all these other they're intellectual. They think that it's more likely we live in a simulation because of the fact that any base reality civilization would recreate reality as a simulation. And I could go into that more, but
Right.
and yeah, so I mean, you can interpret it however you want, but yeah, I don't really know.
I'm not really sure how to answer
What do you
that
like? What do you think
question.
reality is? It just is kind of thing.
Well, you mean, I see, like, I could give you my whole, like, religious background spiel, but, like, I'd rather
that's fine.
not.
I mean,
like,
it's up
that's
to you,
kinda-
really, right? Like,
I mean, like whatever your interpretation is.
because it's all different perspectives of people, right?
I mean,
Yeah.
at the end of the day, the question, I guess, you already answered is: do you think it's simulation? And you don't.
Yeah. So
Cool.
awesome.
Oh yeah. Do you believe in free will?
Yes.
Cool. So like, yeah, I like that.
Yeah. It's cool.
Straight to the point.
So if you could meet another alternate version of yourself from a different universe, and they would have a different personality trait of who you are. So let's say if you're a nice person, they would be an asshole. What kind of questions would come up from you? What would you ask that person if you got the chance to? So yourself, I guess.
Yeah.
I guess I would just, like, ask them how do they get to that point,
Mm-hmm.
I suppose.
Yeah.
I don't know, I'd just be curious to see, like, how they, like, spend their time and how they treat people.
Yeah.
In comparison to how I, like, spend my time and treat people. I don't know.
If you could go and meet yourself in about, I don't know, when you're in your 90s, would you do it? Would you ask what would you be able to do that?
You see, part of me would say that I would love to just so I would kind of have an idea of where my life was going and if there's any way I could fix it or make
Right.
it better. But then at the same time, it kind of takes away some of the surprise with it.
Mhm.
So I feel like it isn't worth it.
And if you could find out specifically when, how, and where you die, and
No.
you wouldn't?
Definitely not. Because then I'd be so afraid to do those things. Like, if they're like, oh, you're gonna, like, die in a car accident, then I'll never want to drive in a car.
Right.
Like, you know. So
That's interesting. Yeah.
So
are just surprises, you know?
if you could ask, if the whole world was your audience, what would you ask the world?
Why are people so disrespectful to one another? Honestly, I feel like that's just the base. Like, I mean, I'm sure there's, like, in-depth questions you could ask, but with respect comes love and charity, and without respect, like, there's not much. So it's kind of why I feel like the world's not doing the greatest right now, because people don't respect one another and their beliefs and their feelings. 'Cause not everybody has to have the same beliefs and feelings as one another, because we're all different. We all have different ideas, but we should all be respected for our opinions.
Any final words?
Love people. It's important. Just love people.
Couldn't have said it better myself, honestly. That was great. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah.
No problem.
Yo, I'm Brandon.
I'm Isaac.
This is BrainShake, and this is our part of the interview. So Isaac, what's your favorite color?
Blue and red.
If you met an alien, what would you ask it?
Can you help pay my tuition?
There's an alien on your cheek.
Can you help pay my tuition,
Can you
please?
help pay my tuition? Do they have some technology that can eliminate tuition?
No, I think generally I'd probably like ask what's your culture like, more so like what's different from, I guess, your nation compared to ours.
Right.
Not gonna lie.
Do you believe in free will?
Yes, I do. I do believe in free will. I think everyone has the choice to be able to have an attitude or preserve an attitude towards something, or
Right.
even if they're in a situation where they may not have choice where they are, they have a choice to act a certain way.
Sure.
Of course, it depends on the area, but I think it'll be expanding a little bit more throughout the generations.
Here, I'll let you ask a couple.
All right. If you could meet your I guess alter ego from a different universe,
Yeah.
what would be the first thing that you would ask?
I'd be like, do you think as much as I do about stupid shit and deep shit? I would probably debate them. I'd debate them on everything just to see who's right. Then I'd probably, be friends with them and maybe like start a business together. 'Cause,
Right.
I would just know how they work. Unless they were different than me,
Yeah, well,
and then they were like an evil twin, then I'd have to destroy them.
will most likely be the exact opposite of you.
I would destroy them.
If you could find out when, where, and how you would die, would you take that chance?
Yes, without a doubt.
Yeah?
I want to know.
But then, like, we can
I think the main reason I'd want to know is because it would motivate the shit out of me. I'm so lazy. It's so easy to procrastinate shit.
Yeah,
Because
exactly.
it's like, I'm
Same.
probably going to die when I'm like 65 from getting shot from a bear. And then, but if that bear never shoots me when I'm 65 and I die in a year, then I just procrastinated all the shit I could have done while I was alive. So I would rather know, because then I feel like it'd be a huge motivator for me to get shit done. And just knowing, it's a certain level of, I think for some people that'd make them anxious, but it'd make me more comfortable.
Yeah.
Because I think about death a lot. It's like, I don't know, like, you have to avoid so many situations, you always have to be cautious, and like, I don't know, it's like, you could die anytime. But if I knew when, then I would be like invincible for the rest of the time.
I think for me, I'm not like really afraid of death or losing things at this point. Like I've had a lot of surgeries and shit, so you've
come to terms with it.
Kind of
See, I
come to terms
haven't.
with it.
I have not come to terms.
I think
with
for
that.
me, I would want to know, just because I would want to know how much time I would. To be able to
you
do
would want to
things
know
like
as
this.
well, right?
But kind of, yeah, the bugs are terrible. But if you
That's super cool.
Parallel universe, you.
That's
Do you want to meet
cool.
them?
I'm so excited to, like,
what would
hear
you
this
ask
group
them?
chat or this group. I don't know which one it is.
let's say like if this Isaac was a complete different person than I was,
I like that one more. Yeah.
complete opposite.
Because like I think you can see a little bit more.
I would just say why. I would ask why. What brought you to this point to think that you could act this way or be this way? And
Maybe he's just a monk.
Maybe, but mostly like what kind of social systems brought this ideology on? I guess myself, my alter self.
Do you believe we live in a simulation?
Yes. I guess in certain ways, yeah, because like there are just certain things. There are certain things that happen that are just all too like, what is going on here? Sometimes I think yes, and sometimes I think no, because like sometimes I wake up and like people do like random shit, like, and I just think that I'm in the Truman Show,
right? In
some kind of way. But
it's actually funny. Not to cut you off, but before I saw the Truman Show, I used to like. I came up with the idea for something like the Truman Show.
Right.
Because when I was a kid, sometimes I would think everyone was just an actor.
Yeah.
I'd be like, there's no way.
Well,
like, you guys are all actors.
It's just crazy to me because I've always thought of the
I grew out of
prospect.
that, obviously.
I actually, it's funny because the reason why this like I guess perspective derived was because I had a dream once where I woke up from a coma out of a surgery, because I've had a lot of surgeries in my life. I've explained it already, but I woke up from a coma, and my family was like, "Oh no, like you shouldn't be going to sleep," like all that stuff, and like I had no control over what I said, and I just like fell asleep, and then I just woke up, and I was like, "Am I in a dream?" Is like everything that I know
Everything
right
since
now.
then is your coma.
Yeah,
that would be crazy. That made me mean my consciousness exists inside of your mind,
which is
that's
crazy.
Too much.
Yeah,
I don't think that's true. Okay, I think I asked you everything, so you got a couple more to ask me.
Yeah, of course. If you could change anything about your life right now, what would it be?
Change anything? Like, are we talking supernatural? Like, I can have a superpower?
Anything.
I'd probably want to...
Okay, how about this? Supernatural and then realistic.
Okay, I would want to probably be immortal and then realistic. I could change anything.
Fine.
Honestly, I like the journey. I like the challenge of not having everything handed to me, because then I wouldn't appreciate it as much. Well, the one thing I will say is just a couple $1,000s would be nice. Even 10K. 10K.
Yeah, no, I have
just land in my lap. Just 10K lands in my lap, and I can make things work from there.
I'd want to film more.
Yeah.
Which I guess is what I'm doing now.
Time to film.
I guess we're doing now. So
to live out my life creatively.
Shut up. Anyway, but I guess if there was anything that you could ask anyone.
You didn't even ask me. Okay.
So. Oh wait, I can ask you another.
It doesn't matter.
But okay, how about this? If you could be living anywhere, where would you be living?
Yeah.
I'm fine here.
You're fine here? Yeah. Creatively and everything. Like, you think that it's...
If I want to move, I can move.
If you could create any type of technology, like new technology...
I love this episode.
Creating new technology? I don't know if I want to tell everyone, because then they'll steal it. I don't know, probably some kind of... I don't know, something to do with nanotech and biotech combined.
Right.
So like your own body could like adapt and form in different ways. Like have it hooked up to your brain somehow, so like your hand could morph and to be able to grab something really high, and I don't know.
Exactly.
Just kind of like body mods.
Yeah. Yeah.
And free will.
Oh yeah, I didn't ask
and also
I didn't ask
you didn't ask mine too.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, so do you believe in free will?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think the thing with free will is it's tricky. You only have free will if you believe in free will. And let me explain that.
Yeah.
If you don't believe you have free will, then you're going to live your life in the default mode. Because you're going to think, oh, it's already predetermined, so whatever kind of happens is what you go along with. And so you'll be kind of subservient to whatever happens in your life. And just, that doesn't mean you can't think for yourself. You just won't really realize that it's you making the decisions. Mm-hmm. Whereas if you believe in free will, then suddenly you start to be more empowered within yourself to be able to make decisions. You don't think, oh, it's destiny that this shitty thing happened to me. You think, oh, this shitty thing happened to me, and now I can do things differently so that doesn't happen again. Or I can reach for this door. I mean, just realizing there's opportunities, that in itself opens up so many doors. And there is this study that says, like, oh, your mind makes a decision before you even realize it. But I still think that's me. It's just you're just looking at my calculation system before it reaches my consciousness, but that's still me making the decision, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Cool. Do you believe that we're in a simulation?
Yes and no.
Yeah.
I don't believe in like Elon Musk and Stephen Hawking think we're in like an alien created civilization.
Okay.
Like from some further down base reality.
Yeah, yeah.
We could be a simulation within a simulation for on and on and on.
Right.
I don't think that's as likely as us being the base reality, because I think the universe is infinite and thus there's infinite real realities. But here's the tricky part. I still think we're in a simulation because everything we see is our mind's recreation of sensory input. So our eyes we take in sound waves, light waves, all that shit, right? We're not literally seeing the mailbox over there.
Yeah.
Right? our mind is recreating that mailbox based on information traveling through the air to our eyes, to our brain. So everything I see is a simulation in my head based on what's evolutionary advantageous to be able to see. So I see a mirage of reality because it serves me on an evolutionary basis, but it's still a simulation within my head based on data.
That's an interesting way of putting it. I never really thought of it that way.
I've been thinking about though, but the other option is maybe like consciousness is beyond our body, and so we can kind of like experience the thing over there.
Like consciousness,
but that's too far-fetched for me. I just think our mind recreates what it interprets.
Consciousness is like just such a weird. It's so complex in so many ways, and too much, and for us right now, like we can't even.
I like thinking about it. I think it's just the sum of the parts.
Of course, but I think for being able to know,
we can't define it absolutely. Definitely not.
Not right now, anyway.
So, if you had any question you could ask the world, what would you ask these folks?
I would ask pretty much why people don't believe in themselves. Honestly, I think it's one of the most important things, and I asked myself that question when I got to that point of being able to believe in what I can and can't do, and I think knowing your limits is important, but also knowing what is possible is also important, because if I didn't have a difference maker that believed in me when I couldn't believe in myself, I wouldn't be able to do things like speak in front of people and do what we're doing now, and it takes a lot to go and do something that's courageous or taking risks, but I think it's important, and I think that any singular person should do it.
These flies.
What about you? Do you have anything to say?
Why do flies fucking exist? They're so pointless and annoying, and I don't think they should exist. They should create little nanobots that fly around and eliminate all the flies.
Oh my God.
But my honest question would be, if anything were possible, how would you get there? So just come up with your craziest idea, and whatever that is, maybe it's go to Mars, maybe it's build a spaceship, maybe it's just go to Florida, I don't fucking know. But whatever that is, think of the biggest thing in your head that you can think of that would be so grand and amazing to accomplish, and then reverse engineer that. Figure out backwards how to get there. Because a lot more is possible than we think it is. And even if you don't actually get there, wherever you land along the way, it's going to be somewhere a lot cooler than if you hadn't tried.
An example of this is me and Brandon and I, we went to university, and we met each other, and we didn't expect that we were going to be filming a podcast like we are right now. I expected to be able to go into therapeutic recreation and all that stuff, but now I'm starting to lean more towards film and being able to create things like this. So
you never know where the road's going to take you.
Yeah, exactly.
You never know where the river's going while you're still rowing.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, thank you, everybody. Yeah. You'll see the edited version of this, and it'll be awesome. And if it's not, then subscribe anyway, because we're only going to get better.
Yeah.
And for everyone who subscribes, you have a chance to win something. I don't know what, but I'm sure at some point in your life you could probably win something if you enter enough contests. So
any support helps.
Any support helps. We'll take pizza donations. We'll take free gift cards, but we got to wrap it up because we're gonna go have some apple pie and shit like that.
Yeah, so
apple crisp.
Yeah. All of our friends are behind the camera telling us to move along.
Yeah. I don't know why I'm cursing so much today. Anyway, thanks.
Yeah, thank you so much.
See you later.
See ya.
Have a good day.
Yep.
BrainShake.
So, what question should we ask?
Or whatever else.
How big is your dick?
Bigger than yours.
Why?
Yeah, probably.
Why do you think we haven't met aliens yet?
I think because if there are aliens out there, they're smarter than we are. And if you look at Earth right now, do you want to meet the fucktards who are messing this up? I don't want to meet us. Why does anybody else want to meet us? We don't even want to be here. We're trying so hard to get off of this planet that we're fucking wrecking. Aliens are smarter than us and are hiding from us because they don't want to meet us because we're fuck-ups.
That's what we assume anyway.
Wow. Yeah, but we're fuck-ups either way you look at that. Whether they're dumber or smarter than us, I wouldn't want to meet us. I don't want anything to do with our planet.
But if you were to think about it, like, would aliens want to meet us? They might be totally all for it.
What if they
But
used
we
to
don't
be?
know.
What if they used to be fucked up and they can teach us how to not be fucked up? Because like they.
I think they tried that with the Mayans or something, and that didn't work. We just got, like, there's all of this evidence that they've already tried to fix us, and we weren't down.
Yeah.
We didn't take their advice. We made it worse.
Yeah, we kind of fucked a lot of shit up.
So like, if they and like all of those prior encounters or whatever, like,
Isn't it
It
possible?
wasn't our minds that did all of this, right?
That's.
Well, according to the Mayans, we're all supposed to be dead right now. So what do they
Exactly.
know?
I mean, like.
but did the aliens tell them that? And that's when fucking Armageddon started. And now we got global warming, and we got fucking, I hate to play this card, but Trump. Like, we're starting another war.
At the end of the day, though, we're just apes with iPads and drones. Like, what do you? What are we supposed to do?
We're humans.
That's another interesting
Technology that are
conversation, though,
smarter than we
because
actually
well,
are.
just how you brought apes into that, because and like the extraterrestrials and shit.
Yeah.
I was watching a documentary once about that Stephen Hawking did, and he was talking about how apes and primates have like a 1% knowledge that, or 1% intelligence that humans have. So he was comparing like how it would be like if the smartest ape right now is like on the same intelligence level as like a human infant.
Right.
So,
a Trump supporter?
Crazy.
yeah. But like, imagine if like our smartest human being was at the 1% level of an extraterrestrial.
Like alien toddlers are learning about like astrophysics in grade primary.
Right. So imagine our Einstein's Galileo to be like an infant.
Yeah, making fart noises.
Of an
That's so
extraterrestrial.
weird.
Yeah, no, that's a good point.
That's really cool.
Next level.
Like whenever I think of like aliens coming,
right?
I always think of like, because Hollywood's portrayed aliens as like we're coming to flatten you.
Yeah.
But like I look at how we're doing space exploration right now.
Yeah.
We don't load our spaceships with weapons. And
Yes.
So, well,
I get what
but
you're saying.
you know what I mean?
Found
Like,
anything to
Well,
blow
there's
up
another
yet.
question in that. If we had the technology to do it effortlessly, would we?
I think some people. I think it depends on the type of person from a different.
The thing is,
from any.
That's true.
I think
but it's
the whole.
Sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say the whole conquering mindset I think comes from scarcity. It's like we need more to feed our people to grow our empire bigger.
Right.
But maybe scarcity won't be a thing in the future because of advanced technology, and maybe aliens will visit us and we'll visit them
but
more
also
on
to
an
make that
anthropologist.
Yeah, but then if you're gonna
type
say
of
that
thing.
though, if you're gonna say it's about scarcity, that's when return to the fucktards of Earth. If we had the technology to decimate, we're the scarce ones right now.
Right.
We don't want to be on this planet because we wrecked it and we have nothing left here.
Maybe,
so if we could destroy to save our people,
like we don't get
probably
smart enough
would.
to create our own resources, but smart enough to take others.
Well,
that
here's
could be a
another thing to add into that topic is look at all of the explorers in the past, Christopher Columbus, Eric the Red. They didn't start traveling with weapons. They started traveling with a vessel. Literally just point A to point B. Let's see what is there. Let's not bring weapons to defend ourselves.
And kidnapping the locals. So if people have been taken
abduction.
and probed and abducted, this is stage one.
But my question is, why do people always make alien movies that are just like aliens are just assholes? So it's like, I understand
because
that.
people are terrified of what they don't understand.
And I understand that, but it's like,
have we considered
why
that?
can't aliens try to be helping us for once?
Have we considered that we're the first on the block?
And maybe they
we're the
already
first
have.
ones in this galaxy.
Yeah.
Maybe it's some other galaxy they're playing around and fucking with each other.
They know what they're doing. They're like, we're too far away.
Maybe we're the first ones and we're gonna be the ones probing
Not
people.
all aliens movies though, because like
Interstellar was trying to help.
Interstellar's trying to help, but you can knock it back as early to childhood. Like half the Transformers are trying to help.
That's
the other half
fair
are
point.
evil.
And they are aliens.
This is a long recording without video, so we'll probably just put this during the credits, maybe, or something.
No, what I was thinking was my whole thing was to, if we were gonna do this type of way, we'll have a segment where it's just like us like doing random shit, like dancing in a video, like something that's like stupid, and then having this whole audio recording of
I'm just thinking like the credits are just this really alien existential conversation.
I mean, that could work too. That would be like
and then
awesome.
people will stay around for the credits because they're like, oh, I wonder what they think about aliens.
We should keep this raw and like talk about how we're gonna edit it and everything too. Like
Yeah. Don't say anything. Hey, thanks for watching.
We're really happy to be able to put this out, and yeah, I guess thank you for supporting us and and sticking with us while waiting to get this out.
And thanks for watching all the way to the end. For those of you that stayed past, the technical end and saw that little experimental alien conversation / whatever the hell else we did.
We're actually currently watching this.
We're just editing, and we just want to thank everybody for checking us out. If you stayed for the whole hour, bless you. You're amazing. And comment if you stayed for the whole hour. One of you will win a shirt when we make shirts. Someday.
We're working on that right now, actually.
So if you want a shirt, comment that you stayed till the end.
You should expect probably every week or so we'll be making a new podcast, and we'll be working on some creative stuff as well. We've actually been working on a creative short film for a little while now, so you'll probably see that at some point. But yeah, just stay tuned and you'll see some pretty cool stuff.
Yeah, we're gonna try to do a podcast a week. So once we get that machine going, you should see one potentially every Monday. We might change that the day we release them, but we'll aim to release one every Monday.
Yeah, and they'll vary between various different things. We'll have some cool guests, or we'll just have friends maybe sometimes, and who knows.
The podcast can go many different directions.
Yeah.
As some of you know, our first one, the files got corrupted, but both of those guests are willing to come back on again. So we'll redo that podcast at some point in the future on Mind Over Matter.
Exactly. And if there's anything that you guys want to suggest too, for us to make, definitely put it down in the comments, or ask us anything. We're always open.
So yeah, I mean, there's not too much more to say. We just have to fill up the rest of the video with random audio.
Yeah.
So
subscribe or
we'll squirt you with a water gun.
No, seriously, thank you for all the support. Any of it really helps. So, yeah. Anyway, I guess
stay tuned for more content.
Yeah. Get ready to get BrainShaked.
Yeah.